Has anyone ever told you that your 20s are the defining decade? Apparently, the decisions we make today with our time, money, and energy will impact the rest of our lives. Well, if you haven't heard this, then I'd say the first purchase you need to make is of a book. But we'll get to the title later in this video. In a world full of ads and consumption, how do you see through the noise to find something in this world that will bring true meaning to your life? You turn to the people you trust the most, right? For their guidance, opinions, hard truths of advice. So consider me your friend as I share with you the best purchases I've made in my 20s so far and some purchases I plan to make before I turn 30. Hi there, welcome back to Luxe Minds. My name is Irene, and today I want to talk to you guys about 8 purchases I've made in my 20s that have really changed my life, and 2 purchases I still plan to make before I turn 30. Now, before we get into this video, I just want to put a huge disclaimer out there because I know at the start I talk about how the 20s are your defining decade, but I'm pulling this from just one book I read from one author's opinion. I don't want anyone to be stressed out or watching this if you're 29 or 35 or 54 and thinking, oh, is it too late for me?
I'm gonna get a heart attack.
Absolutely not. I want you guys to remember that you control your life, you write your own journey and story in this world, and you decide what your defining decade will be, whether it's your 30s or your 50s. It's never too late to turn your life around or add new spices of decisions that, add more joy to your life. First up on my list, and I don't think these are in order of most important to least. I think they're all equally important, but I do really like this first one because it's traveling. And traveling always holds a special place in my heart. I have been privileged enough to, see a lot of countries in the world, but I've also prioritized it in terms of budgeting and saving up to take really nice trips across the world because that's been important to me. I really love to experience new things, learn about different cultures, meet new people across the globe, and have those connections for life. I think I'm gonna get so much more out of life by traveling somewhere than I'm ever gonna get out of a designer handbag sitting in my closet. So those are just some of the things that have gone through, my mind. Not that I don't like a designer bag, okay? I own some and I like them. But if I had to make the decision to save money for one of those things, travel would have to come first. Next, we have investing and saving for your retirement. I think this topic is so important and it really gets me really upset that it's not taught in school the way that it needs to be taught. And if you are in high school or a college student, I say, open a Roth IRA today and start just contributing, whether it's $1 or $25. Trust me, it will pay off in the long run. Now, for the investing, I think everyone should be investing. I've done a quick intro video on how to start investing. I actually did it right after I started investing last year for the first time at 24. My only thought is I wish I had started sooner. And I'm actually going to be doing a video later this year on how my portfolio is doing because it's actually doing really well, which was surprising because I was a first-time investor. I was going into it really blind, just trying to teach myself, and it's really all possible to learn. So definitely start with that intro video and being financially aware so that one day you can be financially free.
Boom, and there we go.
Okay, my next one is one of those things that I'm just gonna... Don't be stressed by what I'm about to say, but investing in real estate, again, in your 20s or whenever, is really a great way for you to enter into the passive income sort of, pathway in life. Look at Graham Stephan on YouTube, right? Like he bought his first home in his 20s and now he owns a bunch more and he's a millionaire and he's grown through that route for him, right? He didn't go to college, but that worked out so well for him. So you just never know. I think if you're gonna do it in your 20s, it's always great to get a multifamily unit, live in one, rent out the other. That rent will cover your mortgage and maybe even more leftover passive income for you. Where I stand on this is I'm actually closing on my first home next week. So I have an exciting update video coming for you guys. So if you're interested in learning more about what that process was like for me, I would say,
so please
subscribe and stay tuned for next week's video, okay? Next on my list is health and wellness. If 2020 taught us anything, it's just how important our health is.
It's still March. How many days in March?
I wasn't taking care of myself. I was more focused on taking care of others, my career, things around me, that I had neglected myself for quite some time, and it really caught up with me last year. So I definitely had to switch my mindset around and figure out what was important to me, right? Eating healthy, exercising, journaling, investing in your health and wellness and your overall happiness is so important. And on the topic of happiness, our next topic here is investing in things that make you happy, right? Things that bring you joy in life. Now, this is a vague category and it can lead you down a rabbit hole really quickly of you thinking, oh, I'm gonna buy this because it's gonna bring me joy, or buy this because it's gonna bring me temporary joy. I think there's a difference between temporary joy and just full-on life joy, like a hobby you have. I like taking dancing classes, cooking classes, getting out there, trying something new that helps me grow as a person. Next, we have a time capsule wardrobe. If you watch this channel, you know that I'm all about finding your style, right? A style is not what's on trend. It's not being a walking billboard for some fashion label to throw their name all over your clothes. That's not style, in my opinion. Style is having pieces in your closet that will be timeless because they're part of you. You have to know who you are as a person to know exactly how you want to represent and express yourself through your clothing, not expressing some label brand. Investing in your career. Now, this can mean anything and everything related to what it is you want to do in life, right? Whether you want to be an actor and you need to invest in taking acting classes to perfect the art, or a painter, or a lawyer, or a businesswoman, whatever it is that you want to do, investing in your career, which means an education and a diploma if it's necessary, or certificates, but not just like huge degrees, right? Reading a book, right? That's an investment in your future that's so valuable, and you never know how a book can change your life. Get to that later. And we've made it to number 8 on the list, which is investing in a passion project, a side hustle, whatever you want to call it. And that for me is this, my YouTube channel, right? Investing in a ring light and better equipment and a stronger camera, starting to really believe in what I'm doing here and investing in it, because you never know where it can lead you or the lives it can impact. So those are 8 purchases I've already made in my 20s, and now I want to share 2 more purchases I plan to make before I turn 30. One of those things is a mattress, like a really nice mattress and a really nice pillow. The really good kind, if you know what I mean. I don't know what that means. I don't know what a good kind is. Maybe a Tempur-Pedic. I haven't done my research yet. I just know that I want a really nice mattress, because when you think about it, I read a statistic once that said we spend 9,490 days sleeping, and that is equal to 26 years of sleeping. Guys, that's kind of crazy. And because so many of us struggle to fall asleep, of that 26, 7 is spent just trying to fall asleep. 7 years trying to fall asleep. That's me. That's me. It takes me forever to fall asleep when I'm tossing and turning. And then this leads to restless nights, leads to you being exhausted, looking exhausted. Who wants to look exhausted? Not me. So that is still on my list. And the last thing on my list is therapy. I think mental health is so important for you to move on in life, and there is so much that we experience before we turn 20 in life that shape who we are, the way we think, how we handle relationships, how we view the world. And I think it's important that we all take time to not only discuss this and get it out and discover what our own mind is thinking up there, but then take actions, right, to better ourselves, to change ourselves, to learn new habits and get rid of things that are holding us back in life. And I think whether it's therapy, life coaching, whatever it may be, investing in this early on in your life will set you up for such a better future, hopefully preventing a midlife crisis one day, right? Because who wants those? Not me. Here we are at the end of the video, and I just want to ask you, how will you use your time, money, and mind to shape your future? You can start by checking out The Defining Decade. I'm gonna, link it here and down below, but it was the book that I mentioned at the beginning of this, and especially if you're in college or in high school, I think great time to read it. If you're in your 20s, that's when I read it, and just see where it takes you, right? I'm not saying this book is gonna change your life. Everyone's experiences with books are different, and something may resonate or may not resonate at all, but you'll never know unless you open up the book and read between the pages, right? Also, it's important to be aware of the content you consume online. The things that we consume are the things that we think about, and eventually we become, my friend. So it's important to consume healthy content while you're online and to surround yourself with things that help you grow and learn. So if you are interested in doing that, of course, please feel free to join our Luxe Minds community here by clicking that red subscribe button and turning on notifications so you are alerted to when we have new content coming out. And as always, keep being yourself. I will see you guys next week with that exciting update. Bye!